Today, I'd like to share with you the book, Side Hustle, by Chris Guillebeau, with the subtitle, From Idea to Income in 27 Days. The Vietnamese version is titled Ngu Te Tri Hai Ra Tine, The Left-Handed Moneymaker. I haven't read the Vietnamese translation, so I can't review it, but today I will summarize the core insights from the original book for you. In this day and age, as we eagerly discuss side hustles, especially among young people, it's crucial not to rely solely on a single, passive income stream. We need to build diverse sources of income. A fixed salary alone won't provide you with a stable, abundant financial foundation when you're over 30. Nowadays, a side hustle is no longer just a trend. It's a necessary path for young people. Traditionally, a side hustle was simply a job you did alongside your full-time work, using your free time to earn extra income. But today, a side hustle is no longer just considered a part-time job. It's a significant path to pursuing our true selves, designing our own lives, and realizing our dreams. In other words, a side hustle is one of the ways that helps us soar towards freedom. If you search for side hustle online, you'll find countless articles, lectures, and videos showing you various lucrative side hustles that promise high income. But you must remember that these are generalized summaries of side hustles for the majority. You are unique, and the side hustle you decide to invest your time and effort in must be suitable for you and effectively generate income for you. We can gather opinions from all directions, but to truly succeed, you can only look in one direction: yourself. You need to cultivate a side hustle mindset. Just like this book, the author shares his successful experience to guide you through a 27-day process to turn an idea into income. You should also only use it as a reference because it was a method that suited the author and their economic context, which may not entirely suit you. You can learn from it, but don't blindly copy it. The best way to read and learn from practical books like this is to understand and absorb the underlying mindset. In anything you do, mindset is always the core that determines the path. If our mindset is wrong, everything becomes difficult. So today, I want to emphasize that the core of this discussion lies in the side hustle mindset. Transforming an employee mindset into an entrepreneur's mindset for your side hustle, so you can truly own your life and income. Firstly, a side hustle is truly different from what you might think. Many confuse part-time work with a side hustle, believing that any job that brings in extra income during free time is a side hustle. However, these two types of work are fundamentally different. Behind part-time jobs is an employee's mindset, while a side hustle requires an owner's mindset. A part-time job is simply work where, no matter how much effort you put in, you'll remain an employee working for someone else. The more money you want to earn, the more of your time you have to sell. Part-time work is like hailing a taxi. You might avoid the crowded subway or bus, but the car will never truly be yours. A side hustle, on the other hand, is a profession, and its process is akin to starting a business. A side hustle, after providing you with a long-term income stream, can even replace your main career. The income from a side hustle gives you more ownership and choice over your time. You need to have enough patience to fully develop your abilities, learn new skills or languages, or cultivate a result that requires long-term investment. Secondly, a part-time job is often repetitive and can be done by almost anyone. A side hustle, however, is a craft where you can apply your unique, inherent abilities. Let me illustrate this with a story. Once, I was in a taxi in Shanghai during my study abroad, and it left the most profound impression on me. When I got in, I saw the driver had an iPad with a highly professional Excel spreadsheet. I asked him what he used it for, and he said it was to track the most effective pickup locations. The sheet recorded different pickup spots and how long it took to get a customer at each. Through this analysis, his monthly income from driving a taxi, which was a part-time job, increased significantly. Moreover, he had a bigger plan. He hoped to build his own fleet of cars and then replicate this working method for his employees. Clearly, his taxi driving was no longer just a part-time job anyone could do. Rather, it was a side hustle. It differed from typical part-time work because he utilized his inherent abilities to analyze data and create a unique market for himself. Finally, with a part-time job, you never have the power to set your own price. For instance, If you're waiting tables, you can't demand your boss pay you a certain amount per hour. But a side hustle is different. It's about work that allows you to set your own prices for your products or services, meaning you have more financial autonomy. Moreover, the process of developing a side hustle is one of realizing your own value. From start to finish, you're doing what you love and excel at, so the experience always brings a sense of accomplishment. If you only want to earn money in the short term, that's not a true side hustle. To truly own your income, you must find a way to transform a unique ability of yours into your own brand. However, I want to emphasize that part-time work also has its place. If you need urgent money in a short period, a part-time job is still a viable option because it helps you earn money faster than long-term investment in building a side hustle. Nowadays, everyone seems to be pursuing a side hustle. So how can you successfully develop your own? First, deepen one skill while simultaneously developing other skills. Many believe that being multi-talented and versatile is more important than just being good at one thing. Personally, I believe being deeply skilled in one area is incredibly important, but in this era, it's no longer enough to succeed by just mastering a single skill. So, besides building a solid foundation, we must lay additional bricks to climb higher. You need to be conscious about using the skills you excel at to develop other abilities. For example, if you're skilled in Photoshop for image design, you could find a way to become someone who teaches design within a team, a company, or even to others. If you're specializing in something, don't get complacent or bury yourself in just one thing. You need to both maximize your existing abilities and develop other skills. Second, cultivate problem-solving abilities. There's a well-known story. 2 salespeople were selling drills, but their sales performance varied greatly. One day, the owner called them in to ask about their sales methods. The first salesperson said, "When I sell, I ask the customer what kind of drill they need. Single-handed or two-handed, what color, battery-powered or corded." This sounds very professional, doesn't it? But the owner was curious why this professional salesperson wasn't selling as much as the other. The second salesperson simply said, "I just ask the customer how big a hole they need, then I give them the best drill bit and drill for it." This is a classic example from marketing, as a renowned marketing professor once put it. Customers don't want a quarter-inch drill, they want a quarter-inch hole. The same applies to side hustles. The way to turn your abilities into a profitable side hustle is to find where your skills are truly needed. This is the core side hustle mindset. Having this mindset not only helps you develop your side hustle, but can also be applied to any career or job, helping you increase your earning potential. The book also gives an example. A couple wanted to go on a cruise for the first time, and they had many questions. So they went online to look for reviews, tips, and shared experiences, but they couldn't find much information to answer their specific questions. After their trip, they used their own experience, combined with the husband's writing skills, to create a blog that answered all the questions for people who wanted to travel by cruise. Not long after, their blog started gaining traffic. In less than a year, this blog brought in an income of $3,000 per month for the couple. To turn your abilities into a side hustle, your mindset must go through a process. First, think about a problem. Second, solve that problem. Next, discover the need. And finally, meet that need. When faced with problems, many of us have a habit of avoiding them, thinking, "I'll deal with it tomorrow." But from now on, we need to train our brains to confront and solve problems. Only when you want to directly tackle a problem can you identify shortcomings, unmet needs, and resolve them. Third, embrace an altruistic mindset. Another important point is that to meet the needs of others, you always need to put yourself in their shoes. That means always having an altruistic mindset, prioritizing the interests of others above all else. We all have a selfish gene. While many people contribute unconditionally to society, ultimately, it still stems from some personal desire. I once read a highly acclaimed book titled Selfish Zen. This book made me understand a truth. We are inherently selfish. Even if we act in ways that benefit others, the ultimate nature is still self-serving. Therefore, when you want to receive something from others, they share the same perspective. They must receive some value from you. If you cannot provide them with the value they need, how can you expect others to provide you with the value you desire? Therefore, always cultivate the ability to put yourself in others' shoes and actively give. Give more, and you will naturally receive more. Fourth, run yourself like a business. Many people, upon seeing the benefits of a side hustle, immediately quit their main job to start a company or a team. From a business perspective, this is a very risky move. Think about it. A company cannot rely on just one product as its sole income source. Typically, a company needs a fixed income stream and then uses that money to develop other products. Running yourself is the same. Your salary is the stable income of your company. You should nurture this income source well, and then, leveraging this stability, develop secondary income streams or save money to invest in other ventures in the future. And finally, systematize your work to increase income. Systematization is one of the most crucial steps. Systematizing your work not only saves you time, but also helps sustain the income from your side hustle. For example, in setting up a YouTube channel, you need to go from gathering knowledge, brainstorming ideas, grasping key points, writing content, optimizing content, editing videos, and finally, publishing. Of course, there are many other details involved, but the important thing is that before you start, if you can write down your workflow, you can then optimize it. To this day, I continue to optimize my workflow to find the most effective method. Systematizing work can even turn it into a product to sell. And as we know, time is an incredibly scarce resource, and many people pay for services to save their own time. Even if you don't want to develop a side hustle, systematizing your own work will help you increase your competitiveness. This is what I've taken from this book. Essentially, it's a guide to systematizing your side hustle, with the author providing a 27-day roadmap to help you build your own side hustle from scratch. If you're looking to build a side hustle from scratch, this book will be very suitable for you.